To all of our local, regional and our international viewers, wherever you may be, thank you so much for choosing us, my dear friends. A very warm welcome to another edition of the program. It's Freedom Monday on Conversations with ZELISA. Freedom Monday, and of course with Dr. Bo Tiwari. And of course, you know, we invite you to sit back, relax, enjoy. What is important is that you have your pen and your paper so you could take notes, or you could send in your WhatsApp messages, your perspective, you know, during the show. All right, so I invite you to continue to stay with us. Directing this morning and in Master Control, Hisham Costello. On behalf of the team, we'd like to wish each and every one of you a wonderful day today, a happy Monday. It's Monday the 4th of December 2023. It is a day and time we'll never have the opportunity to have again. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. Let's quickly go to our quote for today, coming to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo and of course the Mid-Center Mall Flea Market. All right, so let's go to our quote for today. And our quote says, it's better to fail in originality than to succeed in, you know, this is so good, imitation. It's better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. That came to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo and of course the Mid-Center Mall Flea Market. Check them out, you know, for daily deals and things like that, and for all of their specials. Yeah, let's say a very good morning to the management and staff of our program this morning, coming to us with the kind compliments of Lifetime Solutions, 27 Arapita Avenue in Port of Spain. It's also coming to us with the kind compliments, the kind folks at Docks Engineering Works Limited, Phoenix Park West Road, Point Lisas Industrial Estate, and Torrance Bookstores with locations throughout Trinidad. A very good morning and a warm welcome to Dr. Bo Tiwari. He's lovingly and affectionately known as Dr. Bo Tiwari. Doc, good morning and a warm welcome.
Well, good to see you again and good to talk with you and good to be on the program with you. I can't believe, Celicia, that we are in December already.
I know.
And this is the 4th day, and before you know it, it's going to be the end of another year.
Correct.
And some people might be wondering why I'm wearing this dark shades. Well, it's not to be a movie star or anything. It's because I have an infection in my right eye. And so I'm just using it for today. But I want to thank you for joining us, for being with us. This is Freedom Monday. I am Bo Tiwari. We have a wonderful guest today. He is Dr. Jerome Tiluxing. And we will be talking about men and men's issues today, which is a rare thing. Most times people don't talk about men, they take it for granted. You hear a lot of women's issues. You hear a lot of children's issues. But when you talk about men, all you hear is the violence, the crime, things like that, and you worry about boys. But there's a bigger dimension to all of this which we need to explore. So Dr. Tiluxing is somebody who has really pioneered thinking about this and formulating a kind of strategy to raise consciousness about it. So we'll be talking to him shortly. But before I go to that, I just want to say, you know, yesterday there was a referendum in Venezuela over the issues having to do with the Essequibo region, which is a significant part of Guyana, almost 2/3 of it, and which was settled in international court in 1899. There has been controversy and dispute about it but the legal position has not changed from 1899, although other formulations have been advanced of how to kind of resolve what is essentially a dispute from the Venezuelan side about boundaries. Now, yesterday there was a referendum in Venezuela, and President Maduro and his election officers and the president of the National Assembly in Venezuela are claiming that 10.5 million people voted. Now, that's a lot of people, and it's actually more than the number of people who voted for Chavez in 2012. So clearly you might, if that is true, you would have had a very high turnout. I mentioned as well that 8 million people have left Venezuela since Chavez came to power, but increasingly since Maduro became the president of Venezuela. So that's another thing that you might want to take into account. And in the opposition election that was held a little while ago, the total voter turnout was 2.4 million. And she won, Machado won that by about 90%. So the Venezuelan president is claiming 10.5 million and 95% positive vote. And therefore he will ultimately claim that the people of Venezuela have voted in this referendum to do X and Y and Z, which really has to do with the claiming of sovereignty of this piece of territory that now belongs to Guyana. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what the next steps are. 2 days before, 3 days, I think it was Thursday last week, the International Court, in fact, basically said that Venezuela should do nothing to disturb the status quo, because there's a matter pending in the court that has to be decided on, either the reaffirmation of the 1899 decision or some modification of that. So I just want to draw it to your attention because it has implications for Guyana. I want to say Venezuela also shares a border with Brazil, and Brazil has taken the position that it will shore up its own border with Venezuela militarily. And it also shares a border with Colombia. That's a pretty free border. There was a time when Colombia was having a lot of problems, and a lot of people migrated to Venezuela. And during the migration from Venezuela under Chavez, a lot of people migrated to Colombia. And Colombia has a number of refugees who have come from Venezuela. So Venezuela is a country with these borders with Colombia, with Brazil, with Guyana. But it has taken on the Guyanese government and people because, of course, Guyana is now an oil-rich country, as is Venezuela. And that disputed piece of land, that Essequibo territory, is now judged to be a highly lucrative oil and possibly gas, natural gas, and other minerals production area of the world. So that is what it's all about. But the big reason for Maduro's referendum is really to try to find a national cause to get Venezuelans to rally behind him as opposed to the opposition, because elections are due in that country in 2024. And Maduro has made an agreement with the United States on the basis of which sanctions have been lifted from Venezuela for free and fair elections, and also the allowing of banned candidates from the opposition to be included in the national election process. So all of this is very interesting, and it's very important to us, because if Venezuela could move over the border in Guyana and say that part of Guyana is theirs, there's no reason why they couldn't send a ship and say, we are marking the waters a little differently here, and we are taking some of the territory on the ocean that Trinidad and Tobago now claims within its borders, and there is no reason why it could not take an imperial approach towards Trinidad and Tobago, or to CARICOM for that matter, countries in CARICOM. And it is a very, very dangerous precedent to have this kind of lawlessness at the level of governments. The tragedy of it is that you see the lawlessness in Ukraine with the invasion by Russia. We have seen the lawlessness in Syria before, when that country was in the midst of civil war, and continues even to this day with a minority government. And we have seen a situation in which, in the Israel-Palestine situation, the issue of land and who occupies territory, how much territory you occupy, how do you claim land, how do you claim land that belongs to someone that you say is now yours. These things are problems that are global in scope and have implications here too. And it threatens the peace and relative stability of this part of the world, and we should be concerned about it and keep in touch with what is happening, keep in tune with what is happening. So we'll take, are you ready for the break? You know, no.
We've got about 2 minutes
we'll
or
go
so,
on.
Doc. We've got about
So
2
what we'll
minutes.
do,
Yeah.
I will ask Dr. Tilak Singh to come on, and we will chat for just about 2 or 3 minutes, and we will break, and then we'll have a full discussion after that particular break. So good morning to all of you. Thank you for watching, for viewing, and for being with us this morning. This is Freedom Monday. I'm Bo Tiwari, and my guest is Dr. Tilak Singh, Jerome Tilak Singh. He teaches history. He is a specialist in labor history, but he has also founded an organization, and I'll let him talk about it, that really focuses on men, the role of men, and the challenges that men face. So, Dr. Tilak Singh, welcome. And could you begin by kind of putting things in context for us?
All right. Good morning, Dr. Tiwari, and your listeners and viewers, and ZELISA.
Good morning, Doctor.
I'm honored to be here today. And during the 1980s and 1990s, I was bombarded by the negative images associated with men. Men were seen as rapists, drug addicts, murderers. Everything negative was associated with men. Everything evil associated with men. And I realized that there were positive men in our society who were not being highlighted in media. I realized that there were many men absent in families, and I wanted to highlight these positive men who were making a contribution. Not just fathers, uncles, grandfathers, stepfathers, cousins, male teachers in the school, who were positive models for this young generation. And I started this International Men's Day in 1999.
Great. So let's go to this
Yeah,
break now.
okay. So, no, I thought you were going to say something more, which is why I didn't stop you. So we're going to stop at this point. We're going to take a break. This National Men's Day began in 1999. And we are going to take a break at this point and come back and continue the discussion about that.
Great. Thank
Over
you,
to
Doc.
you, ZELISA.
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah.
Reminding you, it's Freedom Monday with Dr. Boindra Tiwari, and of course, special guest today, Dr. Tilok Singh.
I'll have to pull you
And
back.
our program coming to us with the kind compliments of Lifetime Solutions, Docs Engineering Works Limited, and Charon's Bookstores
Yeah,
from
but
Trinidad. Let's
I'm-
go to
I'm
these
in a
messages. When
television
we
program.
return, we
I'll call you
continue
back in a
Freedom
little
Monday
bit.
on Conversations with ZELISA. Stay with us.
Are you ready to own your own home? But worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Charon's Bookstore for all your school books, stationery items, uniforms, shoes, board games, toys, and much more. Visit them at any of their 3 branches located at 24 Eastern Main Road, Quezay, San Juan. Telephone number 675-9024 or 675-3607. 53 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna, 663-1884, 663-1476, or 645-3878. Trin City Mall, Trin City. Contact them at 640-3155.
Calm down.
Check out Charon's Bookstore.
Lifetime Solutions, manufacturer of metal roofing, panels, framing, guttering, and related products. Located lot number 26, Omera Industrial Estate in Arima. Give us a call, 646-5813 for further information. Lifetime Solutions. Give us a call today.
The Mid-Center Mall Christmas Flea Market from the 1st to the 31st of December. Over 400 merchants, toys, gift items, home decor, perfumes, t-shirt printing, and so much more. Daily live entertainment, fascinating snow show. Take pictures with Santa and check out their Facebook page for more information. The Mid-Center Mall Christmas Flea Market from the 1st to the 31st of December. Opening daily from 10 a.m.
Farm India Expo opposite Medford Gas Station, Chagonas will now be closing on December 10th. Enjoy up to 50% of all items. Everything must go. Complete family shopping, multi-cuisine food court, your one-stop shop. It's all coming to an end. Farm India Expo closing on December 10th from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. including weekends.
Super quality supermarket. Best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Hoover Car Park, Hoover, 98 Endeavour Road, Chagonas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trin City. Super Quality Supermarket.
Welcome back. It's Freedom Monday with Dr. Tiwari on Conversations with ZELISA. Our program this morning coming to us with the kind compliments of Lifetime Solutions and Docs Engineering Works Limited and Charon's Bookstores. Of course, Dr. Tiwari, Freedom Monday. His special guest today, Dr. Jerome Tilok Singh, lecturer at the University of the West Indies. Doc, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ZELISA. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to have a good conversation. What we are talking about is Men's Day, men in this society and the challenges that men face, and some of the good things that men do. Okay? So, Dr. Tilak Singh.
Welcome back, Dr. Tilak Singh. Good,
Yeah.
excellent, he's there.
All right, so, all right, you started this in 1919. I remember when I was Minister of Planning, I can't remember what year, it might have been 2011 or 12, I think, or 13. You had a launch of it, and you had a public session, and I was there for it. So that, it would have been, what, like 10 years old at that time. But it was beginning to catch on, and I see now that it is being taken seriously. Tell me some of the successes that you've had, some of the progress that you've made, and where it has come from since 1999.
It has come a long way, having the first observance in Port of Spain at Families in Action, and some of the challenges is that the early observances were poorly attended. Not many people took it seriously. Men said they didn't have a problem. So that started off with 5 persons, 7 persons. I felt frustrated, disappointed, disenchanted. But slowly the message got out of Trinidad into the Caribbean, abroad, and in the men's groups in North America, Europe, Asia. They took it up and they developed it, they ran with it, helped coordinate it abroad. So a large part of the success is partly due to the assistance abroad.
All right, now let me stop you there. This was an initiative that you, Dr. Jerome Tilak Singh, took on the world stage in Trinidad and Tobago in 1999. Is that correct?
Correct, November 1999.
Okay, and this found its way eventually to international recognition where? Forget the participation. Let's talk about the recognition. Where was it recognized?
It has been recognized in United Kingdom, in India, Australia, United States and Canada, and for the last 4 years, the Parliament in London has been having a special debate in November about the importance of Men's Day and helping our men.
Okay. And is there a date on which Men's Day is celebrated worldwide?
The 19th of November.
19th of November every year worldwide. Does this have the support or sanction or what can I say, endorsement of the United Nations?
No.
Not yet.
And that is the challenge. The United Nations has not recognized it for the past 24 years. And I wrote to the UN in New York, and they said that a member state
must do it.
bring forward a motion for it to be voted on.
Yes. Have you approached the government of Trinidad and Tobago? Okay.
I did many times, and they would just send me a reply saying the matter is being considered.
Okay.
And just as that.
All right. Eventually it will happen. I mean, these things, you know, there's a lot of lethargy and things like that, and bureaucratic systems are their own worst enemy. But the point is that you took the initiative. You went through the rough days, it caught on, and now it has international interest. And the government of Trinidad and Tobago would be wise to actually bring this before the United Nations, before some other country like the United Kingdom or Australia, etc., does it. Or maybe it can do it in collaboration with a lot of countries that are now celebrating or recognizing or commemorating the event. So I wish you good luck on that. and I have no doubt that it will take place eventually. So tell me something about the men's group worldwide and what they have been doing to reinforce this process globally, and tell me some of what you've been doing in Trinidad and Tobago to strengthen the consciousness about it in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean region.
Globally, the men's group have been using the media, especially the social media, to reinvent and rewrite the masculinity narrative, to highlight some of the men who have sacrificed their lives, who have been forgotten heroes, the invisible martyrs, and also to highlight biased institutions such as the courts. Globally, many of the men's groups have found that when there's a custody battle, the children or the child usually goes to the girlfriend or the wife during a divorce or separation. So a lot of pressure is put on this. There have been petitions, marches, highlighting this. Locally, I have teamed up with NALIS, and they had 2 days of panel discussions. The Spiritual Baptist had a session on the 18th of November, and some churches on Sunday the 19th announced International Men's Day and the objectives. Some schools also announced it during their morning assembly. So it has been gaining some traction here in Trinidad and the Caribbean.
Okay, now you talk about the fact that when this first thing came into your consciousness and you wanted to do something about it, you thought about all the good men that you knew who were good teachers, who were good fathers, who were good uncles, etc. And you felt that men were getting a bad rap because they were just talking about men as rapists and murderers and all kinds of things. So I want to raise this issue for you. Yes, there is a problem that the good is not recognized really, and you take it for granted. But is there a crisis for men in contemporary society? And if so, what is the nature of that crisis?
It's a crisis. I've called it a pandemic, a masculinity pandemic, in which men are being emasculated in various ways. And one of the ways is that many men are victims of this male underachievement. As a teenager, I've seen many boys often show negativity to their academic work. They feel that they are entitled, that they are promised a job, and this has affected masculinity and the men later on. I've also seen where men have their girlfriends or wives earning more money than them. The women are the breadwinners, and this has created a lot of friction amongst many of the male-female relationships. So I'm also seeing, that it's difficult to remove these stereotypes and stigmas. It's almost in the psyche of many men.
Yeah, but I mean, you have a situation where society is changing. We're not going to have time to explore this now, because in a minute I'm going to hand over to ZELISA and take a break. But I want to put the question in your head and to our audience, which is that for a long time, and continuing even now in certain societies, women really got a raw deal, right? They were second-class citizens, they were oppressed. in some societies, they don't even want a girl child, and when they get a girl child, they really diminish the child and so on. And you had a real problem for women. Thank God we are in an era now in which in many societies, women are coming into their own, striving for equality, striving for opportunity, and sort of enhancing their role as women. Now, I am sure you will agree with me that that is the right thing that should happen. So the question is, this wrong thing that is happening, which is the diminishing of men and the reduction of their sense of self, and the fact that they feel less significant in their role, those kinds of things. Tell me, first of all, how do you deal with that as a consequence of the rise of women? And secondly, how do we deal with it as a challenge of society? So we will come back in a second and talk about that. So over to ZELISA.
Thank you, Dr. Tiwari, and of course to Dr. Tiloksing. Of course, my dear friends, it's Freedom Monday on Conversations with ZELISA, and it's coming to us with the kind compliments of Docs Engineering Works Limited, Charon's Bookstores throughout Trinidad, and Lifetime Solutions Limited. Let's go to these important messages. When we return to Freedom Monday with Dr. Bo Tiwari and his special guest today, Dr. Jerome Tiloksing, talking to us about how are men doing and how are they coping with the challenges. When we return, stay with us.
Are you ready to own your own home? But worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Charon's Bookstore for all your school books, stationery items, uniforms, shoes, board games, toys, and much more. Visit them at any of their 3 branches located at 24 Eastern Main Road, Quezay, San Juan. Telephone number 675-9024 or 675-3607. 53 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna, 663-1884, 663-1476, or 645-3878. Trin City Mall, Trin City. Contact them at 640-3155.
Calm down.
Check out Charon's Bookstore.
Lifetime Solutions, manufacturer of metal roofing, panels, framing, guttering, and related products. Located lot number 26, Omera Industrial Estate in Arima. Give us a call, 646-5813 for further information. Lifetime Solutions. Give us a call today.
Get ready for comfort like never before. DAD Comfort Cooling Limited has been your choice. HVAC expert for over 35 years, and we've perfected the art of making your space into the oasis you deserve. When the sun is blazing and you need the perfect escape, think Comfort Cooling Limited. Your journey to comfort is one phone call away. So don't hesitate to call us at 652-6378, 657-1451, or come down to our showroom and feel the difference. Conveniently located 24 Forest Avenue, Coquia Village, San Fernando. Email comfortcoolinglimited@gmail.com. We carry York and Coolstar, mini splits, inverted type units, cassette type, window, commercial systems, and 5 years warranty on systems. It's all happening at Comfort Cooling Limited.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Tile Expression Limited, the #1 leader in tiles. Large stock, unbeatable prices, wide variety of porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles, wall and floor tiles, residential and commercial, granite and quartz countertops. Best quality from Spain, Italy, Brazil, India and China. Tile Expression Limited, conveniently located Monroe Road, Kunapir. Telephone 693-0015 or 223 Tile.
Welcome back to Freedom Monday on Conversations with ZELISA, and let's say welcome back to Dr. Bo Tiwari and of course his special guest this morning, Dr. Jerome Tiloksing. Dr. Tiloksing, welcome back. Let's make sure we have that connection there. Doc, it's off to you.
All right. Okay, Doc. I asked you a hard question, right, before we left, and I'll just remind people what that question is. Women have been oppressed for centuries, and they are now kind of coming into their own. The world is becoming more liberal, giving them a chance. That has had an effect on men, and it has caused some negative consequences. So we want to deal with some of those. But the second thing is, how do you deal with this changing balance and this change of roles between men and women, and create the conditions in which men could be themselves and women could also be themselves and be equal citizens in society, while consensually agreeing to do certain things together in a certain way. So let me leave that to you to talk about it.
Right. I agree with you that women and children, have been often given the raw end of the deal for many centuries, but the scales are now tipped in their favor, heavily in their favor, to the detriment of men. And if you look at the statistics of the number of persons in poverty, homeless persons, when you look at our jails, the incarcerated persons, when you look at the statistics for health, people with diabetes, heart attacks, life expectancies, it weighs against the men. So the scales are tipped in favor of the women and children, and the men now are on the receiving end.
All right, I want to talk
Roles
about...
are reversed.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Finish what you were saying.
And a lot of times, we use the two words equity and equality. And those words I've found have become superficial and cosmetic. And we use these words very loosely here in the Caribbean and abroad. In many governments, we have a Ministry of Gender Affairs, and the word gender often excludes men. Men are often given a token role in the Ministry of Gender Affairs anywhere in the world. Sometimes at universities you have Institute of Gender Studies or Gender Studies departments, and it's usually run by women. So we have to look at that word gender too. Is it wrongly perceived as excluding men, or is it all inclusive?
All right. Okay. So basically, you say the scales have been tipped against men. Some would say it has been tipped in favor of women and females. Okay, because of the need to catch up and to give other opportunities. How has it been tipped against males? And do you think, give me some examples. I mean, you mentioned some important things there. You say when you look at homelessness, it's mostly men, right? When you look at prisons, when you look at prisons, it's mostly men. Now, both of those, the prison and the homelessness, in large measure have to do with economic conditions, not so?
Yeah.
Economic factors. And a lot of it has to do with the capacity to earn and to live. Because only when you earn and you live can you support someone else, you know? So is this a gender issue, or is this an economic issue in which the economic consequences for the male is creating a further gender issue? I asked you a hard question there.
You cannot compartmentalize and separate gender, economics, culture, and even ethnicity. There are connections among these factors, so that gender and economic issue is reflected in something like unemployment figures, the amount of funding given to men's organizations and women's organizations. That's economic, and it could also be political. So I think the listeners and viewers need to realize that it's not an isolated issue. Gender is not an isolated issue. It is connected to economics.
All right. How does that, tell me, how does that affect the socialization of boys now, let's say in the family and in the school, and deal with schools as two different things, in the sense that you have all boys schools like a Hillview or a Fatima, and you have boys and girls school like Tunapuna Government Secondary or St. George's or whatever, all right? So how does this gender issue affect the socializing of boys in these different contexts into us adolescents?
There is an impact, because in the co-ed schools, boys are able, and girls, to have a space to have conversations. They're in the same classroom, they're in the same playground, interacting in the cafeteria. But in the single-sex schools, the only interaction would be maybe during recreation, going to the mall or going to lessons after school, so that there is an advantage in the co-ed schools. However, there's also a distraction. In the classrooms, it might be difficult to concentrate if you're looking at a pretty girl or you're looking at a handsome boy. So that there is some advantages and some disadvantages. I know that in some of the so-called junior sec and senior sec schools, there is a high rise of issues like teenage pregnancy, delinquency, absenteeism. So there is a plus and a negative.
All right, and let's go backwards. Let's trace this back to the home.
Right.
Because, I mean, yes, you come to school, but you come from a house, right? You come from a home, you come from a household. And we have a situation in Trinidad and Tobago where the household itself is under pressure, in which the family system is under pressure, in which the community, as we have known community in the past, is changing dramatically. And the dynamics of community has changed, including how you generate and value leaders and how you engage one another and so on. So tell me something about this dynamic between the home, the community, and the school, and how that affects the males in the system. We could talk about the female too, because this is a very important thing, because we're having a crisis with young people in the school system, and the home is part of that, the community is part of that. But we'll take a break at this point and we'll come back. So over to you, ZELISA.
Thank you, Dr. Tiwari. Let's go to these important messages, reminding you that our program this morning, coming to us with the kind compliments, the kind folks at Docs Engineering Works Limited, Tarrant's Bookstores throughout Trinidad, and Lifetime Solutions. Let's go to these messages. When we return to Freedom Monday on Conversations with ZELISA with Dr. Paul Tiwari and special guest Dr. Jerome Tiloxing. When we return, stay with us.
Are you ready to own your own home? But worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Charan's Bookstore for all your school books, stationery items, uniforms, shoes, board games, toys, and much more. Visit them at any of their 3 branches located at 24 Eastern Main Road, Quezay, San Juan. Telephone number 675-9024 or 675-3607. 53 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna, 663-1884, 663-1476, or 645-3878. Trin City Mall, Trin City. Contact them at 640-3155.
Calm down.
Check out Charan's Bookstore.
Lifetime Solutions, manufacturer of metal roofing, panels, framing, guttering, and related products. Located lot number 26, Omera Industrial Estate in Arima. Give us a call, 646-5813 for further information. Lifetime Solutions. Give us a call today.
The Mid-Center Mall Christmas Flea Market from the 1st to the 31st of December. Over 400 merchants, toys, gift items, home decor, perfumes, t-shirt printing, and so much more. Daily live entertainment, fascinating snow show. Take pictures with Santa and check out their Facebook page for more information. The Mid-Center Mall Christmas Flea Market from the 1st to the 31st of December. Opening daily from 10 a.m.
Farm India Expo opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunus will now be closing on December 10th. Enjoy up to 50% of all items. Everything must go. Complete family shopping, multi-cuisine food court, your one-stop shop. It's all coming to an end. Farm India Expo closing on December 10th from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. including weekends.
Get ready for comfort like never before. DAD Comfort Cooling Limited has been your choice. HVAC expert for over 35 years, and we've perfected the art of making your space into the oasis you deserve. When the sun is blazing and you need the perfect escape, think Comfort Cooling Limited. Your journey to comfort is one phone call away. So don't hesitate to call us at 652-6378, 657-1451, or come down to our showroom and feel the difference. Conveniently located 24 Forest Avenue, Coquia Village, San Fernando. Email comfortcoolinglimited@gmail.com. We carry York and Coolstar, mini splits, inverted type units, cassette type, window, commercial systems, and 5 years warranty on systems. It's all happening at Comfort Cooling Limited.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Super quality supermarket. Best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Couva Car Park, Couva, 98 Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
To all of our local, regional, international viewers, thank you so much for choosing us. It's Freedom Monday on Conversations with ZELISA. It's coming to us with the kind compliments of Docs Engineering Works Limited, Charon's Bookstores, and of course, Lifetime Solutions. Let's say welcome back to Dr. Bo Tiwari and his special guest today, Dr. Jerome Tilak Singh. Doc, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank
Great.
you, ZELISA.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for tuning in, watching, listening, and for engaging with us. Dr. Jerome Tilak Singh, a historian, a labor historian, is with us, but he is the founder of Men's Day, which is now being celebrated worldwide. He founded it right here in Trinidad and Tobago in 1999. And we are talking about the situation of men. And we were talking earlier about young people in the school system. And we took a step backwards and went back to the home and the community. And I was asking him to say something about that. What is his thinking? What is the condition of boys, young men in that situation?
Yes. I have spoken at schools, I've spoken to parents, and I've realized that here in Trinidad and Tobago, many homes are dysfunctional. Sometimes the father is absent, they are homes without a positive male role model. Sometimes the father or the mother, they are working 2 jobs. Sometimes they work on a shift system, and there's a lack of conversation between the young man and his father. There is a lack of conversation because there's a generation gap. Sometimes parents don't understand the dreams and goals of their sons. Sometimes parents are busy on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the children are watching television. So there is a disconnect, a generation gap that has always been there and is getting worse. And what we see in the home, the disintegration, is reflected in the schools, the communities, and worse yet, the nation. That is why in the last 5 years, we have such a high murder rate. The home is the core of a country, the anchor, the stability. And unless we have strong homes, we will never have a strong nation. There's a breakdown in morals, values, ethics. And part of the reason is that we are not monitoring what our young men and women are listening to and watching. The music is often wordless, the lyrics are useless, the movies too violent, too much promiscuity, and there's too much bloodshed, which is reflected in our violence in our society. So I see the home as being very critical in rebuilding masculinity, the visions of our young men and our nation.
But isn't the home and what the home is and how the home is structured related to what is happening in the larger society with the male mindset, the female mindset, etc.? I mean, for instance, you know, I had a conversation, I won't mention his name, with somebody. It just came out of the blue. This was a couple days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. And, you know, he mentioned, and he almost was on the verge of tears, you know, telling me that he doesn't know what is wrong with young people anymore. He said he asked his son about marriage, he's not interested. He asked his daughter about marriage, his daughter not interested. And the whole ethos of how you live your life as an individual and how education fits in that. I mean, a lot of people are not pursuing education anymore. They think it's a waste of time. The only thing that people are interested really now, the younger group, is really to live, to enjoy life, to engage in technology, and to have the means, to have the money to do it. So having a job might be important to them. And they are frustrated if they cannot get a job. So maybe a job and the income and living your life on your own is important. But how do you then cross the next barrier to deal with home, family, children? I mean, all the societies in the world have a 0 birth rate. Some of them have a minus birth rate. The only way they can strengthen their population size is by migration. The whole productivity system depends on new citizens, on younger citizens, etc. I mean, what does all of this say about society? Because the threat to the family is not that family is disintegrating. The threat to the family is that people don't want family in the way that it used to be. And I mean, can you talk about that a little bit? I can't say that I know what the answers are. I am just observing the phenomenon.
Yeah. The new generation, they call them millennials, Gen X. They often see the family as a burden. The marriage is a burden. You'll have to be a breadwinner. Having a family means you'll have to pay bills. You'll have to pay, if you have children, you'll have to pay clothing, extra money for food,
school,
maybe tuition. So the concept of a family is a financial burden for many people, the young generation. And I think what is happening, the materialism, consumerism, has taken priority in many of the young generation. And the antidote for this could possibly be the need for more religion or spirituality in the next generation. Because this generation is so difficult to change. And I see sometimes in religious institutions, the young people are absent.
Yeah.
And they give excuses.
But even religion is on the wane now and weak in its hold on people. There might be an increase in spirituality, but I don't really know. But I think what you've done, Dr. Tilak Singh, is really give me an opening to maybe talk to some young people to try to find out what their thinking is, what their feelings are, because I think that that is important. And maybe after that, I can talk to you again and maybe some other people who are very knowledgeable in the field to see how that connects, you know, what the thinkers are saying, what the experts are saying, and what the young people are saying for themselves. So I want to thank you very much for being with us today. This is Freedom Monday. My guest is Dr. Jerome Tilak Singh. We just had a wonderful conversation. And this is Freedom Monday, and I am Bo Tiwari. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doc. And of course, thank you to Dr. Tilak Singh as well. This is where we've got to say much thanks, heartfelt thanks and gratitude going out to Doc's Engineering Works Limited, Charon's bookstores throughout Trinidad, and of course Lifetime Solutions. We thank you kindly for choosing us, reminding you we do have a repeat of the program at 3 o'clock today. Tell your friends, tell your family members. Here's reminding you that with God all things are possible. I am ZELISA Budu Singh Rupani. Have yourselves an awesome, safe and beautiful day today.